Hey guys, and welcome to episode 6 of Appropriate Audiences for the fall 2013 semester. I'm your host, James Rona, and I'm here joined by Jake Troy and Haley Duran. And today we're going to be talking about the recent Kimberly Pierce remake of the 1976 cult classic Carrie, starring Chloe Grace Moretz and Julianne Moore. So guys, let's just jump right into this. What were your first expectations going into the movie? I'll start with you because you're dressed like Waldo.
Sweet. I don't know. From the trailer, it showed a lot of like these very epic, crazy action shots of like her already like at prom, like that. Everyone knows that scene, so I think that's what they were trying to like show to the anyone who's watching, like that this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna like keep it the same. We're gonna keep it with the prom and like all the violence. But like I feel like that's what it really focused on. So I feel like they kind of I don't know gave away a lot of like nice effects and things. So I don't know. Yeah.
Remakes are so bizarre. No, they really are, because you have an idea of if you've seen the original, you know what that movie is and you know how it's supposed to look. So then going into a remake, you never really know quite what to expect, because remakes can either go to the spectrum where it's like they're trying to get so far away from the original, or where they basically carbon copy the original. So I didn't know what to expect. I mean, obviously I'd seen the trailers and I'd seen like I think it was on MTV where they tried to scare people, like the telekinetic girl in like the coffee shop. I don't know if you saw that promo.
I didn't see it.
It was very bizarre. So obviously they were trying to focus on what you said, like, you know, that big like action violence, but I don't know. I just had no idea what I was going into.
Oh wow! All right, so personally, I would sort of agree with you a little bit more on the remakes thing about how they are very tricky and you don't really know what to expect. And I had the first time that I had seen the original was unfortunately like when we reviewed it. So it was very fresh in my mind. So I was like, okay, like I was able to point at what they did differently, but I think that they, as far as remakes go, they did it okay. I mean, like they didn't change up too much, but yet they made it more modernized. So going off of that, what were your guys' general thoughts about it? Like, did you like the fact that it was a little bit more modern as a remake goes, like with the whole showing the video and recording it on YouTube and stuff like that? Like, what did you think about that?
Yeah, they really stress like technology in this one. Like, they're trying to like show like, oh yeah, now we have cell phones, so we can bully you there.
Yeah.
And like we can put a video online, so we got you there too. And then like I don't know, parts like in the movie where they're trying to like gather evidence against like that Chris girl.
Yeah.
They like I don't know, they like went to like phones and stuff. Obviously, I don't know. The interesting thing with the first one was that they were like kind of able to get away with things, because there really isn't like that much proof in this one.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of gets cornered at some point, but it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the message it was trying to get out about cyberbullying. I really, I think it's an important topic, but on the other hand, I don't know, it just didn't work, because like you said, the thing about the original that was so awesome was like these kids were bullying her and like being able to get away with it, and that obviously incurs a lot of like hatred. Well, from you're watching as a viewer, you're like, no, like this is really bad. But I don't know. I also didn't really like Julianne Moore or Chloe Grace Moretz. I always say her last name wrong. I don't know. There's something that Julianne Moore was kind of like, as the mother, was a little bit pathetic. She wasn't as creepy. She was a little bit more religious, but she wasn't like as, like the mother in the original is so scary. Like, oh, I would never want to encounter her.
All right, so going off what you just said, you're going to lead me into my next question, so I'll ask you, what did you think about the two different Carries? We're talking about Chloe Grace Moretz and Stacey Spacek. Like, what did you think of the two compared to each other? Like, who did you prefer?
I think like Moretz is like this really pretty girl, like really cute. You don't expect like someone like who looks like her to get picked on, especially by, I don't know, these other girls. They all seem like nice people.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely just trying to like, obviously they can't be all nice. This is a movie about a girl who ends up,
going nuts.
Going to prom. And so like they used what they worked, like they worked what they used with. Well, yeah. Chloe Grace Moretz, pretty, basic, awkward looking. Until prom, you don't really get to see like how beautiful she really is.
Yeah, that's what I liked about the first one.
Yeah, like they
were
used
able
that to the advantage.
Yeah, when she was able to get dressed up and stuff for prom, it was like, oh wow, like she's actually really pretty. And then you sort of really start to sympathize with her. Like you were obviously sympathizing with her before, but that was sort of what the original had on its side is that you didn't get to see how beautiful Spastic was until like she really got dressed up and she was looking really pretty. With Chloe Grace Moretz, I'm like, oh, like look at her, she's so pretty. Like she's getting beat up, but it's fine. Like she's so pretty. Like look at her. I don't know. I mean,
We're very messed up people. Our society. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
just because pretty people, it's impossible to get picked on,
Obviously.
of course.
No, because pretty people are always elevated. Like,
Yeah, it's
oh,
true.
you're really pretty, so you're gonna automatically be a popular kid. So it's just really weird to be like, why are you getting picked on?
Why are you getting picked on? You're
This
too
doesn't
pretty
make
for that.
sense. Yeah.
Oh gosh, but going off of everything we've said here, we're gonna get into our segment section for a little bit. So first off, we have Jake Troy, our residential Waldo here, and he's gonna go back out into the field with Steve Boreski. So tell us what you guys are gonna be talking about today.
On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's see what you got.
I'm Jake,
I'm Steve.
and this week on Trailer Talk, we're going to be talking about the trailer, About Time. So Steve, based on the trailer, how do you think this movie's going to do?
I think it looks like a very cute, sad romantic comedy.
I agree.
Definitely good for the holiday season coming up. You know, take your sweetheart out. Looks very promising. What do you think?
I agree. I think this movie looks like funny, sad, and it also looks just like really romantic,
Right.
like you're assuming. And like I don't know, yeah, like something about these two just really cute together, and he's like this like funny little ginger dude. He's gonna like, you know, keep going day after day. It's like Groundhog's Day. He's
Right.
just like keep trying to like win her over and like have that perfect first impression, which is impossible. So like it's just funny to see like how close he's gonna get to like, you know, that perfect. And I think that's the thing. Like I think a lot of guys are gonna see this and be like taking notes. Like okay, so yeah, I got flowers. That's important.
Pad and pencil.
Yeah.
Being my main thought is being that Rachel McAdams has been in The Notebook and The Vow. Do you think that'll help or, you know, make the movie suffer?
I think that like, you know, since like 2004, that's when she did The Notebook. So, like she's had a lot of time and like a lot of movies
Yeah.
that like have given her the experience of like this genre. She's like funny, she's cute, she knows how to cry.
Yeah,
she definitely knows how to cry on a beach. And I don't know, this looks really it looks like this is like, you know, like going to be a solid performance by her.
Right.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think she has a lot under her belt to, you know, benefit the movie. I think it'll be interesting to see her growth from,
For
you
sure.
know, The Notebook to The Vow and then to this. So I'm looking forward to seeing her performance in this.
I agree. So, based on everything we've said so far, do you think that this movie is worth seeing in the theaters, waiting for it for Netflix, or just skipping it altogether?
I would definitely give it a chance because I'm single. Probably not going to see it in the theaters alone. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. What do you think?
You know, having a girlfriend, Haley, I love her to death. I would never want to exclude her from seeing a movie that I know she's been begging me to bring her to. So
Dropping hints.
yeah, exactly. Like wink, wink, guys. This is the movie to take your girlfriends to. About time.
It's about
Yeah, it's about time. So I'm sure I'll see this, you know, with handcuffs, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could see this now because it came out.
Yeah.
And also, Haley and James are going to review it on Appropriate Audiences next week.
Definitely. So for now, I'm Jake.
I'm Steve.
Back to you guys in the studio.
Another great episode. Thanks so much, guys. And Haley, what are you and Matt going to be talking about today?
We are talking about Insane Clown Posse's beautiful, beautiful film, Big Money Rustlers. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It is
All
a
right.
masterpiece.
I can't. All right. Let's see what you got there.
Hello, and welcome to Notorious Netflix, a program dedicated to showcasing some of the worst movie masterpieces Netflix has to offer. I'm Haley Too Dope.
And I'm Maddie Too Dope.
And this week, we entered the Dark Carnival with our choice, Big Money Rustlers, the sophomore film of the Insane Clown Posse.
Have you ever been pissed at a scientist?
Have you ever wondered, magnets, how do they work?
Well, the Insane Clown Posse is here to answer all your questions and more.
This Western adventure begins with Shaggy Too Dope as a character riding in on horseback to the town of Mudbug, a corrupt town without a real sheriff. But that's not before getting busy with a random lady he found by a caravan.
And if you thought that was randomly vulgar, well, that's just the tip of the iceberg here, folks. Big Money Rustlers is just about as explicit as the Insane Clown Posse's raps, and just about as crazy, too. I mean, who can forget Shaggy Two Dope's mother, who gives the best and fastest handjobs in the West?
Vulgarity aside, while in Mudbug, Shaggy 2-Dope becomes the sheriff and encounters Big Baby, the violent crime lord, beginning a battle that lasts the rest of the glorious 80 minutes.
Now, that seems pretty tame, right? Well, let's not forget to mention some of Big Baby's assassins, such as the Ghost, a zombie that shoots lasers from its eyes.
Or the Foot, a man with a large tumor, stinky foot that rides in a wheelchair and rams into and over everything that stands in his way.
And who could forget Big Baby's best assassin, a female midget who ends up tearing off her mask and revealing herself to be a man.
And subsequently, we are given one of the most drawn-out scenes in the movie. 5 minutes of Shaggy 2-Dope beating up a stunt double doll of the assassin before blowing it up with dynamite.
Among the assassins are a multitude of side characters, played by kind of unsuccessful musicians like Vanilla Ice and other rappers I've never heard of. But I'm sure if you're a juggalo, you have. Maybe. Probably.
Now you might be asking, Haley, what about the writing? I'm sure master lyricists like Shaggy 2-Dope and Violent J must have Oscar-worthy dialogue. Well, kiddies, I'm here to tell you that they don't. Violent J's dialogue is one of the worst I've ever heard and is permanently burned into my mind. Also, the surprise ending literally comes out of nowhere.
But what about the positives? Well, if you can get past the explicit, demeaning, and potentially offensive nature of the film, the movie itself is ridiculous fun, something that you can watch if only to make fun of it.
I give Big Money Rustlers 5 weird-sounding sheriff looking for chili out of 5.
And I give it 4 Ron Jeremy as a father figures out of 5.
That's all for this week's Notorious Netflix. Check us out next time for more horrible movie masterpieces.
Wow, you guys sure have some good taste in bad movies. But so getting back into our conversation about Carrie here before we get carried away, let's talk about some more of the additions that were made to this movie. I mean, they were very minimal, like we had mentioned, but I mean, like going back to the whole thing about the adding of the videos and the phones and stuff like that. Did you think that it almost? I don't know what I'm trying to ask because that's a terrible host that I am. But no, I'm just trying to ask, like, do you think that it sort of took away from the impact that the first one had, like we were talking about, or was it more so that you were able to, like, live with it? Like, was it so detrimental that it almost ruined it for you, or was it not that bad?
I don't think it was that bad. Just a remake. That's my big hang-up.
Yeah.
I really don't think it was that bad though. Like if there was no original, I think it still would have been fine because, like I said, of the issues it does touch on that are happening currently in our society. But I think what is good about this story is that it can really be anytime.
Yeah.
It doesn't really need all that stuff. Like they could have honestly
Unfortunately.
set it in. Yeah, unfortunately, they could have had it. Like they could have done a remake and it still be like 76.
Yeah.
Like and it still would have worked.
And there were still some things about the time frame that they still stuck with, which I enjoyed. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed the suits that they were wearing. They had the ruffles in them, and I thought that was really a cute little homage to the first one, while at the same time they were making it more modern. What do you think? Did you like that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think, like, you're right. Like, this movie, like, I don't even think it necessarily had to be remade. Like, it was a classic. Everyone knows Carrie. Like, it's like Stephen King's, like, big film, kind of, next to, like, Shawshank Redemption and all that stuff. But, yeah, like, it's just, like, for the time, like, it was perfect because, you know, like, those kids could get away with it. They weren't, like, tied, like, they weren't, like, held back by the technology that we have today. And it's, like, it's true. They, like, stress the fact that cyberbullying is definitely an issue that leads to, like, some kids having some breakdowns, not necessarily telepathic.
Yeah, not necessarily to Carrie's
telekinetic,
extent.
Yeah.
like, things, but, yeah, it was interesting.
All right. So going off of everything we've said here, do you guys have anything else you want to get in before we call it a night for this episode, or do you think we got it all? That's an acceptable answer, too. I'll let you start.
I think that we didn't really talk about Julianne Moore.
Okay.
So
I was going to say that.
The only thing I just want to say is, like, great actress. I think she's, like, on the highlight reels of this year. Like, she's definitely been in enough film, and, like, everyone, I feel like a lot of people have their eyes on her, and, like, they're, like, definitely, like, watching movies just for her.
Yeah.
At least critics are.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be, like, super hard on her now that she's, like, doing really well. And with this one, I think she was just, like, really cringeworthy. She gave you a lot of moments to, like, really, like, oh, God, like, what is she doing to herself? But, like, at the same time, like, she just wasn't as, like, she didn't keep that creepiness level as the first one.
She was more like self-loathing, I think, than the original. Like obviously with like, yeah, she like really clearly hated herself.
Yeah.
Like with all like those scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I just actually thought of the first scene is that they actually showed delivering Carrie in this one, and then she was like, oh God, like kill me now, like, and she was like, even like during this miraculous thing of birth, she was just like so self-loathing, like you guys are talking about. So I definitely got to agree with you guys on that, but I can see you holding in a point.
I also don't think she was as passionate about Carrie as the original mom was. No, because like when they burned down, and correct me if I'm wrong, when they burned down the house in the original one, like the mom is really eager.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, let's do it together. Like she's really like,
Mhm.
and this one she was like, yeah, okay. Like I don't know, I just didn't see the love and the passion for Carrie, because as creepy as the mom is in the original, you can see that she really like loves her daughter and
Yeah.
she just wants to do right by her and protect her.
Mhm.
More in this film, it's focused around like, God, I hate myself.
She just doesn't like. She doesn't have the capacity to even
Mhm.
love herself, so she can't even take care
Yeah.
of her
Mhm.
daughter.
I agree.
In that like scene where she's giving birth, like there's like that silent moment where she's just like, where it's just like all let out,
Yeah.
and baby's crying. Like she has that moment where she's about to kill.
Yeah, I was about to say she
she's about
almost
to, like she's using the scissors, and then same
And
one
then
she uses to like cut the cord. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's
It was-
it's your moment.
It was a creepy.
You know?
It was definitely a creepy way to start.
Yeah.
it.
It's unfortunate because like I loved her in Don John. She was
Mhm.
amazing in that. So I'm gonna blame the writing.
Okay.
I'm going to, because she was so good in Don John.
All right. So going off of everything we said here, I think that it's fair to say that that's our show for tonight. I want to thank my guests, Haley and Jake, for joining me one more time tonight. And please don't forget to follow us on Twitter at APPRO_audiences, or like us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/appropriateaudiences. Until then, that's our show for this week, and we want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time, guys.